Now let's talk about this. When our mitochondria are dysfunctional or dysregulated, we can have a lot of problems. Remember, we talked about it's where all the energy of the body goes on. And there are many things that can affect our mitochondria. And that's what's important when we talk about a wellness type about a health approach to taking wellness and healing. Our mitochondria become very important to that. If we look at many diseases nowadays, there's two things that kind of set up all disease. One is inflammation, and the other is mitochondrial dysfunction. So let's just talk about some of the things that can make our mitochondria not be as efficient as what they used to be. So the first thing is aging. So unfortunately, as with anything, whether it be our cars, whether it be other things, our mitochondria over time begin to break down. They don't function as well. They don't do as well. And with that said, aging can have a big impact on our ability to have energy. Think about how our brains work as we get older, how our muscle aches and pains happen as we get older. And all that has to do with this mitochondrial function beginning to decline as we age. Next thing is hormone imbalances. Our hormones are natural signals to the body to do certain things. And one of those things our bodies do when our hormones are out of balance is our mitochondria do not function as well. The next thing is our thyroid. If you think in terms of your mitochondria is where energy is made, metabolism happens. Well, thyroid is one of the hormones that drives that process. When our thyroid is dysfunctional, our mitochondria are dysfunctional. Poor nutrition and diet. If you think about your diet, you eat a lot of carbohydrates, fats, and protein. And believe it or not, these fats and your carbohydrates are a lot of the initial fuel the body needs to drive the mitochondrial process. If we eat poor diets with poor carbohydrates and poor fats, our mitochondria don't operate as efficiently as what they should. Vitamin and mineral deficiencies. Many of us now, even if we try to eat the most healthy diet we can, the way our food is produced, we don't have the ability to get as many vitamins and minerals that we need. And there are vitamins and minerals that are very critical along the process of a mitochondrial function. And we'll talk about that in a second. Prescription medications. Believe it or not, there's a lot of prescription medications that make our mitochondria not work as well as what they should. So that's important. Infections, whether they be things as simple as a COVID virus infection, but also things like Lyme disease. We can have concurrent gingival infections, gum infections, underlying infections that we may not even realize, but these basically make our mitochondria less functionable. Toxins, heavy metals, toxins and heavy metals clog up this process of metabolism, and those can cause some problems. And there's a whole host of other things. But what I want you to realize is two things. One, mitochondria are essential for life. If we don't have them, we don't survive. But unfortunately, too, there are many things we do every day that can have an impact. And that's where Methylene Blue comes in. All of these items on this list we're talking about need to be addressed and worked on. But we also want to look at what are some other things that may allow our body to have functional, high-performing mitochondria while we're working on these other things that may allow us to have success and help with the energy production in the body. Well, guess where it comes along? That's where our Methylene Blue comes along. Because what we've learned is all of these conditions here, and you can see there's a whole host of them. Some of these are medical conditions, and some of these are just symptoms from arthritis to chronic illness, dementia, diabetes, hearing loss, hypoglycemia, migraines, neurological conditions. All of these conditions can be related to poor functioning mitochondria. And like we talked about, every cell in the body has those. Every cell in the body has to produce energy. And if we don't produce energy properly, the cells can't function right. Within the cells, the organ can't function right. And then outside of that, the body as a whole can't function right. So that's where Methylene Blue comes